25 minutes. It's a free lecture on the human mind, state of mind, and that's it. It's really state of mind, okay? Let's read from this cheap book, only $10, Walmart style book, Fill the Treasure. Here we go. You can get it for $10 online, by the way, okay? The only people who tell you that you can't do it, if you ever had anybody tell you can't do whatever, the only people that tell you can't do it are the ones who themselves could never get it done. Think about that. Logic, that's reasoning, right, would tell you that it would be ridiculous to go and get advice from people who have failed, right? If they could do it, they would have done it, right? Because you probably have some kind of a goal that's worthy, right, if you're going for it. And you tell people about it, right? For example, I mean, this is, I don't even know why this example would be here, but it still works, okay? Let's say you grew up in the ghetto and you wanted to go to fucking Harvard or Stanford, a major college university. I can't believe I'm using that as an example. But the point is, right? Everybody in your family's like, you can't go to college. You shouldn't, but I'm just saying, right? Example of you can't go. You got to turn to all of them and say, listen, just because you couldn't go doesn't mean I can't go. In fact, I'll tell you something. The fact that you didn't go, I'm going to make sure I went. Okay? Don't go take advice from people who tell you can't do it. Now, somewhere, somebody is not going to give you that advice. And the difference between that person and all the other ones is that person has done it. Right? So if you want to be a billionaire, you go talk to a billionaire, not a millionaire, because the millionaire is not a billionaire yet. Right? And there's as much of a gap, even more, between 0 to million than a million to billion, just so you know. Way bigger gap. Okay? Easier to make a million, very difficult to go from 1 million to billion, unless you know what you're doing. So we're going to go and get advice, not from people who are getting there. They're in the same fucking classroom. Come sit down. All right? Even if you're advanced, you're still in that motherfucking classroom. All right? I want the teacher, and I want the teacher who's not only done it, but is still doing it. Okay? And that's really important because that's a tradition, you know, that's where I come from. Last night having conversations, I had a few different good conversations last night. And one of them, the person was surprised at what I could understand and how I could speak. I said, listen, I've met some really powerful men in my life. And when I met them, I knew that they had the answer to the problem that I had. Okay? So for example, growing up, I was bullied physically, right? Which always means mentally if you think about it, right? I was bullied. Every different country we went to. I've been in a fight with children, because I was a child. In Syria, I can tell you they're savages. Turkey, savages. England, not savage at all. Preppy, right? They get in a fight the way they talk. And that's, everybody gets in a fight the way they talk, just so you know. Didn't I go over that? So Englanders, they also fight very politely. Even as children, bullocks. Bullocks. You make my blood boil. Right? in an argument between two guys, like, oh, you really make my blood boil now. You know what I mean? Oh, I am steaming. Chop, give me one more, and I shall slap you across the face and teach you manners. Like, well, all right, well, whatever, dude. So that was okay. I remember in England, I wasn't too scared of the kids. They remind me of cake, like white cake. And then in Nebraska, it was pretty bad, right? Those guys were real tough over there because the white guys were super tough because they were like Nebraskans, whole corn huskers. And the black guys were super ghetto. And then there was no Mexicans. I think I met a Mexican when I went to California. I didn't even know what a Mexican was. I was like, hey, you're like me. No, you're not. I'm Persian, you're Mexican. But we got the same color skin suddenly. They should be here by now. Or be there by now. They should be there by now? They've infiltrated? Yeah. The borders have been opened? Yep. Well, you better hurry up because they're closing. And I'm going to go join ICE, bro. That's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to bring some order over there. And then California, it was cool. Because California was like everyone, right? You got to fight with everybody in California. It doesn't matter what color they were. But I met men who, I'll tell you a story that affected me. There was a guy walking with, there was 2 guys and 3 girls, right? This is me growing up and me meeting the person I'm talking about. The guy was 16 when he was telling the story. I was 12. So I'm just saying, as a 12-year-old boy to a 16-year-old boy. Just imagine that for a second. The 16-year-old boy's name was Kevin something. I forgot his last name, but you could look him up. Why? Because he was the gold medalist in Olympics in Taekwondo, the fighter, who won 4 years in a row straight. At that age, he was part of the academy I was in, but in a remote location. So let's say if you have 5 locations in McDonald's, I'm in the central McDonald's location under Ernie Reyes, and he's in McDonald's fucking Rockland or some shit, which is, 2 hours away, but they all come to central McDonald's every once in a while to make sure the quality is the same and get training. I was located in the center of Ernie Reyes West Coast martial arts at some point in my life, right? So they would all come from Reno, from New York, from fucking Hawaii, they had one over there. Kevin at 16, me at 12, I'm going through the ranks, kind of like your daughter, wherever you are, right? I was getting up there, and I got a chance to be in the locker room with the gold medal Taekwondo champion, and he looked like Captain America. If you go watch Avengers, swear to God, I know Captain America. I met him when I was younger. He even had the build of Captain America at 16 years old, but he had pimples. I remember I was disappointed in his pimples, even as a young 12-year-old boy. Like, why do you have pimples on your face, bro? But anyways, let me tell you what I heard that changed my life. I already loved the martial arts. I already knew Bruce Lee and all that. But I've been getting my ass kicked my whole life. I hadn't done the ass kicking yet. So there was a lot of fear in me as I would train. And I'm in the locker room, and I know who he is because I'm starting to kind of do better. By the time I was 13, I was kind of known over there. And so I hear him talk about him and his friend are walking with these 3 girls outside of a theater. We used to go to theaters, like that was how you date a girl, by the way. Right? There would be movies coming out, and you'd be like, have you seen fucking Beetlejuice or some shit? We're going to go see Beetlejuice. And if you had friends, you'd go with your friends, and there'd be a new girl. Very cool shit. We should do like, when we got IMC Productions up, we should do like a series, they used to have called the Wonder Years, where we take like young men through it, and we teach them real tech, right? We put some mentors in the movie. Right, like that kid's father is really dope, and that kid doesn't have a father. Our story, we just tell it. Anyways, they come out of the theater, and they get surrounded by a gang. Now, me growing up in that time, you would know it too, been in the same areas. Gangs were a thing. Okay, not gang, nigga. I mean like gangs, Everyone's gang now. Gang, nigga. Not that guy. Not the guy with the skinny pants sagging, looking like a girl, right? Not that guy. The guy that looked like he's been in prison, but he's 12. Like, he's walking in the streets in a white wife beater. Somehow he has a tattoo at 12 years old. You don't know if it's real or fake. You're not going to check it, right? And he's hanging out with 18-year-olds that are drinking, right? And no one gives a fuck, and cops will go by, not look at them, but go stop the old lady. That's what would happen with cops, right? There'll be a cop stopping a car, and you roll by, like an old lady in there, and the gangster would just be walking by. The cops were doing their job over there, right? So anyways, he gets surrounded by gangs, right? And he said somehow there was a bike involved, like they had rode their bikes, there was a bike there. Oh, no, that's what it is. They came up on their bicycles. And so they surround these guys, right? And there's a kick. And the kick is, it's called a 360 back kick. Oh man, if you ever see it, it's a fucking movie. You run, you jump off one leg, you spin in the air, turn around, kick with the same pow. This motherfucker, right, looks at one of them, right, who's got the bike. And he runs, and he fucking 360, pow, back kicks this fucker. And he said the guy just flew off the fucking bike, right? Then the other guys get off the bike, and he said the guy came with the bike, and it's called a push kick. I mean, the guy was so fast, I'm telling you. He was not even exaggerating. He called it shuffle step push kick. So shuffle step is you move your feet real fast, bam, with the front leg. He said he push kicked the guy, and the guy went back with the bike on top of him. Then he looked at the other guys, and he starts moving. They fucking ran. The guy on the bikes and took off. I'm sitting there tying my belt, listening to him. And my heart is exploding. I want to go hug him. I want to say, can I be you? Right? What do I do to be you? Why the fuck am I telling that story? Oh, yeah, okay. So guess what? His trainer was actually a woman, Diane Murray. You can look her up. She was a silver medalist in the Olympics. First female or some shit, something like that, right? She trained him and the team. And one day, they come to this location and they're training. Oh man. First of all, this lady was so scary looking because as a lady, she had her head shaved here and she had a flat top here and long mullet down to here. And she's a Taekwondo fighter. I mean, I didn't even have a concept of what a dyke was at that moment, just so you know. I really didn't.
It's the first dyke you saw.
Probably. No, I don't know because she got pretty flirty when I got older. You know? I definitely had those thoughts at some point, like, is this teacher hitting on me by the time I was 18 years old? Okay, but I was different by 18. So anyways, we're talking at 12. And guess what happens? I'm there and I get a chance to go home. And my dad comes to pick me up. It's nighttime. They're going to be practicing at the end of the night. My heart's beating so fast because I know my dad is not going to let me stay. It's already not, it's like 8:39 p.m. I need to go home. I have school. But I'm like, I'm going to beg to all hell to him. I have to be here, right? So he comes. I'm like, Dad, please, this and that. He's like, you know, I'm going to give you 30 minutes. And I'm like, anything, right? And then he says, but you're going to have to walk home. And it's nighttime, right? And he thinks I'm going to say no to that because it's scary. And I remember thinking to myself, he doesn't really mean that because then he's going to have to go tell my mom I'm walking home. And my mom would be like, oh, hell no. She'd probably fucking get an airplane and grab me, right? Mom is like protective and dad is like, well, fuck you then. Good combination, right? So it depends if you get me on a good day, I'm loving, and bad day, and fuck you. So he takes off. I come in. I sit down. Listen, these guys are training. I'm younger than everybody. It happens to be they needed a partner. Has that ever happened to you as a wrestler? I'm the only one, right? I'm the only one left watching this fucking class. Dan Murray asked me to come in, right? And they're doing this technique called the axe kick, which was so cool. And we start doing this thing. I'm going to tell you what happened from that. Then in 1994, one of those, I became the gold medalist in Taekwondo. And it started right there. Isn't that crazy? But I became obsessed with learning from these people. Just from that story, that maybe one day I'm going to get the 360 back at some motherfucker who's being unrighteous to me. And so everywhere I went, when somebody had it, I wanted it, right? We have Brett here. You see him in the podcast every Thursday, 5 p.m., right? He's a man who's taken companies from 0 to 8 figures. Why did I tell you that? Because in the future, as we build our university, we'll do a course on entrepreneurship and business, right? We can do that. But I want him to train everybody around. And I want everyone to learn, because then you're done with the money thing. And you're supposed to be done with the money thing at some point, right? You're not supposed to be 60 struggling to make money. 55, you know, it's not one of the saddest but most pathetic things to see on many levels. Is when we go somewhere and there's like a 70, 60, 74-year-old man as a security guard somewhere. Like, what the fuck? Right? You see that old man standing there? Are you kidding me? Like, just because you call security, you're not security, dog. You understand? You're insecurity. We call that insecurity, right? Or you see a 67-year-old man or woman in the malls picking up your tray and putting it away. Dude, that's like my mom. Isn't that crazy? And we miss it. We miss that lady. Let me show you how to see her next time you see one of these ladies or men. Okay? You're seeing that motion in the mall or in the casino. A lot of casinos have older people working, right? There's a moment this happens. Watch this. It's now 8 hours of work done. That person is hurting, guaranteed, no matter what. That person's tired. They're not working one day a week like that. Just get the understanding what's happening, because I don't want you to be that. They failed, their family failed, their lover failed. They failed in relationships everywhere. At least they got some fucking energy to keep going though, right? But at some point, that person's little old body that's hurting, day 5 of working, just so they could pay for a fucking house that maybe their child should have been able to pay for easily. They now gotta walk away and say, okay, good night. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., if we're in Vegas, right? Now, here's what you don't see. Now they're gonna walk from work to their car. Go through that walk and their mind, right? 2 a.m. Now they gotta get in that car. Guarantee you it's a car they don't like, right? They're definitely not going, boom, 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 bam, bam, music, all I need. They're not tapping in. They're tapping the fuck out at this point. So they sit in a shitty car that's probably got stuff in it, but they don't feel like driving home, because I don't feel like driving home at that time. Nobody after 8 hours goes, I can't wait to drive home. And then they start driving home, and their thoughts, they're literally in their thoughts. Think about it. But they're not 60, 70, 55 even, right? At some point, they arrive totally unconscious to the same fucking location they call home, which is not a good home, because if they're working at that moment. Once again, they drove up, and whatever you see, if you're them, is not very aesthetic, it's not cool. But at least they got a fucking key. And that's the problem. Everybody's at least this, at least that, at least this, at least that. You want to live an at least kind of life? Go ahead and at least fucking do it. Right? I wasn't put here to live an at least kind of life. Right? Well, at least. Well, that's good. Okay? At least what? But that person, there's a moment which I love to think about. You know the moment where you put your key in the door? I love thinking about a person doing that. Right? Here we go. The old person, right? And they go in, there's going to be a cat. If there's no cat, I tell you what, ain't nobody greeting that person, that's for sure. Turn on the fucking lights, look at your shitty little place that you can't even live in. You're just paying rent, right? Go in there, tired, hungry. At some point, that motherfucker puts their head down, and once again, it's in dream world. And that's maybe, possibly the only peace of mind they may have all day. Like, they're literally looking forward to just going unconscious at the end of the night. At some point, that stupid alarm is going to go, and they, just like you and me, did not get enough rest. Because if they got a day 1, they didn't get day 5, if they're working 40 hours as an old person. And we could continue this sad story all the way forward, but I'm here to tell you something. That person was born of a mom and dad, and at that age had enough time to make some friends who could have maybe offered him a job, or her a job, or a house, or cheaper rent, or just had them assist them around, because how much money does a person like that need, right? And so what I see through all the different angles we could look at, I see a failure of them to relating to other individuals who give a shit about them. Where is everyone, right? What happened? You lived 50, 60 years and you're alone at the end of it, and they go, well, you want to get, well, what if you don't get married and you're going to be alone? How many married motherfuckers are alone right now and we're married 2, 3, 7 times? I don't see any difference when I look. What about this? If you don't have children, who's going to carry on your legacy? Motherfucker, everywhere I look, I haven't seen one legacy around me. Oh, yes, there is one. It's called the Trump legacy. Son, father, son, father. There you go. Congratulations to having a real president, a legacy. There's also a legacy for the other administration, right? The son, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden. There's a legacy, isn't it? Fuck your legacies, all right? Who gives a shit? You're here for a short amount of fucking time to figure out who the fuck you are and what the fuck you're doing here. If you're a man, your nature is a predator and a protector. End of story. You can't even help it, motherfucker. Okay? Like, no matter how hard they try to put you in a fucking zoo, the moment you realize you're in a fucking zoo, you start acting like it, and be careful if that trainer falls in that fucking cage. Because now you're mine, dude. Because I'm not getting out anyways. And that's how ambitions and goals have to be. You're like a tiger in a cage or a lion or a bear in a zoo. Without a doubt, so am I. There's only so much movement, so much speed, so much time. At least I have that, at least, right? At least I live in America, and at least I get to speak freely. Who's got the right to tell me not to speak freely? Like, have you ever even thought about that? That there's this idea, there's a demon idea of freedom of speech even exists? It's not even a concept of any being to tell another being who's an adult, if you speak on something I don't like, you can't. We're going to go to jail, right? That's pretty fucked up. Now, those people who make those laws are men with 2 arms and legs just like you and I. And if they're not, and they're hybrid, some fucking alien, well, then welcome to IMC Nation, as I'll show you how to tap into different levels of consciousness And if you're facing a snake, you could be a bigger snake, right? If you're facing a spider, you could be a mantis. Why? Well, because you and I, are we not looking at a physical human form? Okay, so we must be talking about what? The spirit inside is the spirit of a reptilian. I could understand that really well. Now, what if that reptilian has a power to physically, with technology, change into a human form? That also makes sense to me. That also makes sense to me. However, it don't matter what physical body I'm dealing with. That's still a physical body of a human. I'm still dealing with its state of mind, its beliefs, and the way it moves inside. And its understanding of what? The same physical laws that him and I are bound by. So if that motherfucker with that human body can use his consciousness to do something, me with the human body should be able to do it. You go, well, I don't care what you say. If we're on the same chessboard, we're going to be under the same guiding principles, barriers. And come back 2,000 years and look at mankind and what we can do, right? And all of this, to me, is something called big thoughts, right? That swallow the little thoughts. But when the little thoughts are so big, it's because you don't have enough perspective on life. And so you could walk around. Okay, I'll give you an example. Everybody has banged their shin at some point, right? Ow, fuck, ah, right? My bed is notorious for that, right? My shin and my bed have a relationship. And I've noticed it's normally done in secret. When there's people around, I don't bang my shin on that bed. When no one, ow, fuck, and then I'm like, oh, there's no one to even say, wow, that was hard. I go by myself, okay? Now I started training in the martial arts physically again, right? And it just happened to me last night, as I'm about to walk out with full speed, my shin goes right into that fucking edge of that thing. My reaction, habit is, until I step down and realize that wasn't even I didn't even feel that. Oh, you know why? Because I'm now getting hit more, and I have a much bigger perspective, you could say from even shin perspective, of what pain is. That's just another kick on my shin today, with not even an intention to hit me. It's weaker no matter how it goes. And so I saw how quickly it processed like that, and that's what happens. If your life, if you don't have a big perspective, then a tiny little setback makes it look like your life is broken. Right? Being 47 years old and been in a lot of relationships with a lot of beautiful women intimately, a breakup is not a big deal. Okay? But if I'm 16 years old and it's the first time I fall in love and she breaks up with me, I might want to kill myself or do some crazy shit to prove I love her or she loves me. Because I don't have perspective, right? And all of this is just perspective, because the only thing that allows me to sit here and speak on this is because I have a perspective on life that's worth listening to. And the reason it's worth listening to is those who listen and use it live better according to their own estimation. You estimate your life better. And one way you can be sure your life is getting better is when other people begin to complain about your life. You should be told what the signposts are on the way to success so you don't end up going the wrong way. On your way to the top of the mountain, you will lose more and more friends. You will lose more and more family. You'll lose teachers on the way up. You have to learn how to interact with teachers. It's a skill, it's an art form, I'm telling you. I'll give you an example of that again. Now I can speak about my life in a different way. I'm in the martial arts class, and they're doing a technique. My body's trained martial arts for a long time. The technique they were doing required block or move. My natural reaction was to block or move a certain way. My partner notices and says, oh, that's better than the technique we're doing. Inside, I'm like, cállate, por favor, shut the fuck up. Okay, I'm not trying to bring attention to it, but I'm also not trying to learn the wrong way. Or the wronger way, because their way is better than any other way, right? It's just I've been training longer in that way of doing that. So then at some point, my partner is about to change, so I'm like, fuck this. So I call the teacher over. I say, hey, I'm naturally reacting as such. The technique is such. The teacher looks at it and goes, that works really good. And he says, You can keep doing that because it works really good. But here, we teach it like this, right? Now, I have to go in my AI and update the programming and say, when in this class, change file. Because then I said to him, well, I'm here to learn your way. So show me again. And then I have to retrain. I didn't get it still, just so you know, right? I didn't get it, but I know how to interact with the teacher. You never outshine the master. Rule number 1 of the rules of power, right? 48 laws of power. And that's how they apply, right? Am I supposed to now teach him? Am I supposed to show, well, okay. Or how about he's the teacher and I'm the student and I'm there to learn from him. I'm there to learn his culture. I'm an anthropologist of war, martial arts. I'm an anthropologist of love, because if you want to understand love, you better understand war first. You're a man and you want a beautiful woman, right? I have beautiful girlfriends. Do you believe that there's a beautiful woman that you know that no other man sees when she walks out? Do you think there's not a man plotting her departure from home, grocery store shopping, the route she drives, post office? You know, and I know. You know and I know. Okay? So the more your woman is a prize, the more you better understand the art of war. Because the true art of war is a psychological art, so is the art of seduction. It's an art of psychology. Right? The moment President Trump steps up, some wars end. That tells you there's some psychological shit happening inside those people. Same country, same weapons, same army, a switch in consciousness. Oh shit, everybody back the fuck up. Why? There's a predator in town. You'll get the difference, right? And so there's example after example after example that with what you already have going on, all you gotta do is shift the dial from victim to victor, right? From prey to predator. And I'm not even saying anything that's not God said. Here, I want to show you something on my Instagram that I saved. Hopefully I can get to it quickly. It was only yesterday, so it shouldn't be too far down, although I save a lot of stuff. I'm going to show you 2 things, okay? No, I'm going to show you 3 things. Okay, well, fuck it. This is the day after we got our new president. This was on the news. And I just want you to see what hatred looks like. I mean, let's just look at it, okay?
I just say really quickly, too. Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny.
Pause.
But it's not just misogyny for white men.
What's misogyny mean? Let's look up the word misogyny. I just want you to know the level that they believe society is at to talk like that.
It says, misogyny refers... Ooh, hold on. Why did I do that?
Yeah,
misogyny refers specifically to a hatred of women. The word is formed from the Greek...
Wait, slow down. A hatred of women was just said on CNN, whatever the fuck it is, after the president won. The Democrats need to be aware that there's misogyny. Hold on. That's a word that means hatred. Oh, hate is a big fucking word. First of all, I love women to be doing this shit, and so does everybody else here. We're talking about hatred. Hatred of women. I hate cockroaches. You ever been around a fucking cockroach? That's one of the most despicable fucking creatures to me. It's so nasty.
Yeah, it gets pretty extreme here.
It gets extreme? That's what the word means. Let me show you what they're saying, because it's insane, actually. Go ahead.
It says hatred or prejudice against women, typically exhibited by men. Yeah. It is generally accepted that misogyny is a consequence of patriarchy. And then
patriarchy means?
A male-dominated society.
A male-dominated society. That's kind of like if we went to the jungle and we got all the lionesses together and they voted, and then they voted against the male lion being the patriarch. And then all the lions in the world shifted perspective. And every time the male lions came up, the girls were like, don't need you, right? And all the male lions would have to do was do what? Do what Atlas did. Just shrug. Atlas was the one that carried this globe on his back, the world. And you should read a book called Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. That's all men need to do. Just say, all right, then, why don't you go and take care of yourself? Okay? And I'm going to go take care of some other lioness who actually understands what the lion nature is. It's run by a male, dominant male. How about all the chimpanzees and the gorilla, suddenly, the silverback gorilla, all the little bitches got together and they were like, not anymore. Huh? Not anymore. Well, any sane female chimpanzee would see a muscle-backed silverback, say, all right, bitches, fuck y'all. And he'd go over there and just, right? And some chick somewhere who is actually still a chimpanzee and not some weird thing would be like, hey, daddy. And he'd be like, right? And he would say, I'm the king because God made me, because I'm a gorilla and it's run by males. Okay? Now, if you're a hyena, it's run by a female. Did you guys know that? It's a matriarchy. Yeah. There's one female alpha over all of them, even the males.
They have dicks too, right? They got unique anatomies. Yeah, well, not dicks, but their clits are essentially the size of a penis.
And that's what's going to happen to these hoes.
And the females are bigger than the males.
And that's exactly what's happening with the transgenders and all that. You see it? But let me show you. Let me show you something that you can look at nature. That's our language. The one animal that I still admire because of its power and stuff, but everywhere that's a sneaky fucking animal, and it's always depicted as an evil one, is that laughing hyena. Right? And there's your little matriarchy right there. And penguins are monogamy. Penguins are monogamous. They mate for life. And have you ever seen a penguin? But sea elephants aren't. Have you seen a sea elephant?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen a polar bear? Yeah, they don't mate for life with one. But penguins do. And have you seen men when they go to a fucking wedding? They dress like a penguin. Right? All men, all weddings, all the time have to dress like a penguin and walk like a penguin. Okay? All of them. All right, let's just look at nature. Humans, ready? It is mostly all over the planet a patriarchy when it works. It's ruled by a strong man because it's a jungle and it takes a man to defend the jungle. And so that's who we are, all right? And it doesn't matter, but if you start saying that the lion hates the female lioness, you'd be an idiot. That the gorilla, because he runs shit, he hates the woman. He runs shit because God made him run shit so that he could take care of the woman and protect her. And he's got to have a little bit of aggression inside him, I think, because there's another gorilla who does have some aggression. All right, so keep going on misogyny.
Yeah.
We're going to end with this shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got it. What misogyny is. Yeah. Women hatred, all right? Yeah. So let's continue with this shit. This is such a great video. Oops. Some chick messages and says, we got our balls back, and pointing to my Trump post. I said, you got your balls back?
We think Kamala's like a hyena.
That's a good one, right? It's a good way. Nature's a good code to describe shit. Okay, so let's listen to this incredible news. This was newsworthy, right? After the United States votes with all these fucked up voting machines and all this shit they try to do, and for all this propaganda they fucking threw, right? The president whoops ass. Whoops ass where it's just like, they don't even want to show up to the fight, right? They started coming and the army was on that side and they just saw the red banner ding, 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 ding go up and they were like, oh shit. Oh, I call President Trump and I said, we are here to help you. You couldn't even help yourself. Okay? Peacefully, but we will fight. Peacefully, but we will fight. Yeah, okay. Nice language. Okay, here we go. Enjoy.
2, Democrats need to be mature and they need to be honest.
Let's be honest, guys.
And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men. Right. It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. It might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before, a lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Oh,
a lot
and
of
with other Hispanics, you got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations about it.
real honest conversation.
Real honest conversation. Now you repeated real honest conversation. Can you repeat real honest? And we gotta be honest with ourselves.
Such trash, dude.
Hey, isn't that just pure evil? We could hear it.
Hypnosis.
We could hear them now. Watch out, brown and black. And if you're voted for Trump, you're a misogynist. You're a woman hater. Now it's no longer the white man.
Yeah.
Right? They tried to defeat the white man, and they should have looked at history. You should not go against the man. One thing I've learned studying history, don't go against him. It's probably advanced in some technology anyways. Be his friend. It's better, right? I'll say that with all of them, but definitely don't go after the Norse gods, right? They're powerful. They still have representatives in comic books. That's how you know, right? All right, there's a few of these I think that are worth looking at. Hold on a second. This dude, do you know what I'm about to show? This dude, the guy in here, he's at his, okay, come on guys. We have a code at IMC Nation. We don't talk to each other's women. Even though we trust each other more than other men do, we don't do it. I'm gonna show you a video, okay? And sometimes women think that's weird, all right? I'm gonna show you something. This is a video. The guy just buried his best friend. They're in the funeral. He's wearing the guy's shirt. And he walks up to the window of the girlfriend of the guy who just died, okay? This is the dude's best friend who just buried him. They're in the funeral. They just buried him. And he walks to the window. It's funny and sad and evil all together, but it shows what's really going on. Don't ever trust a hungry dog. It's stoicism. Hungry dogs are not loyal. That best friend of yours who's got zero interactions with women and all that, he's as close as a psychotic serial fucking rapist I've ever fucking seen one. He's holding himself together. You get what I'm saying? It's so important to learn this shit. And by the way, the girl who also has no relationship, she's in that same manner when she speaks to other women. She's as close as a murderer of men that you could possibly get. She can't even interact with one man. And that's what you guys are out there, we're listening to. Here we go, enjoy this.
This is like, come me, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got studio?
Okay, let me get another picture.
Just have a picture.
Okay, let me get another one.
A picture of the shirt of his best friend.
Always be known. Stop around, bro. Let take you out, bro. What you doing tonight?
Look, your best friend just died. My goodness. What makes you think I'm trying to go out right now?
Bro, he wouldn't have it any other way.
Damn lie.
I know you ain't trying to be alone.
And he literally just died. He ain't been arrested for 5 minutes. I'm not checking for nobody right now, Dre.
Listen, bro, look, I can take care of you with that big ass house, man. Bro, you know, he was working for me.
How you gonna take care of me?
Oh, look at it. Real life.
I know, that ain't your bro, like no old ass. Like,
I think I sure did. Ain't worried about it.
look, I love Dino, I love that again. But he gone now. It's just us two.
It's just too soon. Like, what?
Okay, so wait, I can be your friend, slide through from time to time.
Yo, Dre, get the fuck away from my car.
Bro, it's gonna be like that?
Yes, it's been like that.
My money.
I'm not giving you shit. Get the fuck back, bro. Are you?
Hey, what's crazy, huh?
It's like, come me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
All right, one more. Tupac said, keep your enemies close, nigga, watch your homies. And here's how we feel about it, and then I'll show you how a girl feels about the whole thing. Here you go.
Okay. So what somebody's going to do about it?
I mean, I'm gonna disagree with you. So what?
Yeah, does it make you feel weird that
No, so what?
why is it people care about your opinion so? Is that weird to you that people freak out about your opinion?
No, they believe I have a lot of followers, this and that, so this is my opinion. If I like Donald Trump and I want to vote for him, I'm going to do it. So what? What are you going to do? Beat me up? No, I don't think so. No.
Right? And that's how a man got to talk. Let's go.
So what somebody's going to do about it? I mean, I'm going to disagree with you. So what?
Yeah, does it make you feel weird that
No, so what?
why is it people care about your opinion so? Is that weird to you that people freak out about your opinion?
No, they believe I have a lot of followers, this and that, so this is my opinion. If I like Donald Trump and I want to vote for him, I'm going to do it. So what? What are you going to do? Beat me up? No, I don't think so. No.
No, I don't think so. All right, then, last night I found this jam. This is really dope.
Hey, so listen.
Oh, here's your Cardi
Hey, so
B.
listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now, okay? So you little trumpets, like, y'all won. I know y'all happy, whatever the fuck. Ain't nobody acting like bitter losers. However, y'all need to leave me the fuck alone. Because I got one more fucking cigarette in me before I start letting your asses up. Alright?
With what?
And that's word to the United States of motherfucking America. Yeah.
Oh, Cardi B, threatening.
Thank you for being here too.
Okay, hold on. That's a bad bitch. No, here's a bad bitch, actually.
They say they mad Trump won. They say, why you vote against your interests? You're black. Why did you vote against your
Here's a bad
interests?
bitch.
No. Look, word to my mama, right hand to the stand. I'm raising up my son to be a boy to a man. Oh, that's transphobic, they gon' say they feelings hurt. But I can't tell my son that it's cool to rock a skirt, that's facts. And then they say we ain't going back. How's that? All that evil's finna get exposed, ex-cat. They tried to muzzle me, but I'm a lion, not a puppy. Industry tried to snub me cause I don't party with puppies. My body is a temple. They screwing on your body while they messing up your mental. And Kamala was not presidential. That's why she kept all her real plans confidential. Pay attention. Then they want to scream, my body, my choice. Men need to yell, my pockets, my choice. Because why do only women get to save up at 18 years? Force a man to have to, that's crazy. I thought this was the home of the free and the brave. When every day they trying to censor me, houseway. And then they try to cancel the facts. We stand by Janet. No, that lady not black. Y'all can't cancel black royalty. Ain't you dumb? That lady say she finna come and take all our guns. When I just cock the chopper and it sounds just like a drum. Intruder come inside, they hit her up a thumb. Yeah, I got an itching need to protect my seed. Oh, she the new way? That's just the feeble. I heard her say she ain't doing nothing for black people. She was finna trade on y'all like Cain to done Abel. We stand by Janet, know that lady not black. The truth is we can't let y'all alter the facts. A woman is an adult human female, that's facts. The truth is the truth and the facts is the facts.
Cardi B, sit the fuck down. Sign her up. You know, one more time. We're going to sign her IMC Nation.
They say they mad Trump won. They say, why you vote against your interests? You're black. Why did you vote against your interests? No. Look, word to my mama, right hand to the stand. I'm raising up my son to be a boy to a man. Oh, that's transphobic, they gon' say they feelings hurt. But I can't tell my son that it's cool to rock a skirt, that's facts. And then they say we ain't going back. How's that? All that evil's finna get exposed, ex-cat. They tried to muzzle me, but I'm a lion, not a puppy. Industry tried to snub me cause I don't party with puppies. My body is a temple. They screwing on your body while they messing up your mental. And Kamala was not presidential. That's why she kept all her real plans confidential. Pay attention. Then they want to scream, my body, my choice. Men need to yell, my pockets, my choice. Because why do only women get to save up at 18 years? Force a man to have to pay. That's crazy. I thought this was the home of the free and the brave. When every day they trying to censor me, houseway. And then they try to cancel the facts. We stand by Janet. No, that lady not black. Y'all can't cancel black royalty. Is you dumb? That lady say she finna come and take all our guns. When I just cock the chopper and it sounds just like a drum. Intruder come inside, they hit her up a thumb. Yeah, I got an itching need to protect my seed. Oh, she the new way? That's just the feeble. I heard her say she ain't doing nothing for black people. She was finna trade on y'all like Cain to done Abel. We stand by Janet, know that lady not black. The truth is we can't let y'all alter the facts. A woman is an adult human female, that's facts. The truth is the truth and the facts is the facts.
All right, let's go. That's it. We appreciate that. I appreciate that on so many levels. One, I appreciate the fact that she sounded black. And you know what that means. She sounded black, right? She remained black. And when she said black royalty, I saw black royalty. Because royalty is loyalty, and I see that. And she's loyal to her seed, she's loyal to her family, she's loyal to her creed, she's loyal to her country. She's probably loyal to her man, I bet. There's somebody put wifey, TK. You're right, okay? And Cardi B is trash. So we're gonna go into the Players Club. That's for the men. Good class, see you in the Players Club. Advanced class today is gonna blow your mind, okay? So let's go Players Club first. Here we go. Boss, see ya.